let's watch the trailer for Path of Exile, Trial of the Ancestors.
Oho, trailerek nowy, widzowie.
Such as yours do not go quietly into the night. They
Jakie kolory. Jezu, jak ja lubię takie jak ten morski kolor, nie? On tak dobrze wygląda.
Welcome to the halls of the dead.
Wiecie, co jest najlepsze? Że oni nie próbują kopiować stylów innych gier, tylko stworzyli swój własny, no nie? Właśnie mają takie azteckie, takie australijskie, kurwa, vibe rytualne, nie?
Prace nad 5 zakładką będą nadal.
Dokładnie tak będzie. Ty, widzowie PvP. Jaka gra bez kitu bazowała na takiej azteckiej mitologii? Loki, okej. A Gothic 2, okej. Rizeny. Co jeszcze? Curse of Dead Gods. Mortal Kombat, ale w pewnym to tam z Kotalkanem, no nie? To w miarę późno. Gridfall, no. 16 nowych stone'ów atlasowych. Trolle Zandelarii w WoWie, tak.
In the end, only one can become champion.
To jest Nowa Liga, ja się zagadałem. 18 august. Kurwa, widzowie, my 20 meeting, 2 dni postreamuję Ligę i jadę na
In the
event.
Kurui Afterlife, the fallen chieftains of each tribe participate in a tournament called the Trial of the Ancestors. You will journey to the afterlife, assemble your own team, and enter the tournament to battle those chieftains and earn valuable rewards. As you play through areas in the Ancestor Challenge League, you'll find tradable silver coins. Using them will take you to the Kurui Afterlife, where you will encounter Navali, who you may remember from the Prophecy League. Each coin allows you to play a match of the
Tomasz pada
tournament.
6 złotych i
You start the
66
tournament with a
groszy.
basic team
Dawaj
consisting
łysy,
of 3
jedziesz z
warriors.
nimi.
The tournament is double elimination, meaning you're allowed to have 1 loss without consequence. A second loss eliminates you from the tournament. Your team will compete against 10 other tribes, and you choose who you're going to challenge next out of the teams
Ale
left in the
jaja,
tournament.
system drabinki,
When you start a
turniejowy.
match, you see the configuration of the enemy team and get to place your team of warriors on the battlefield to challenge theirs. You and your party of exiles will play alongside your warriors. So while this league does have many elements of an auto-battler, you're right there fighting alongside them. During a match, when a warrior dies, they respawn at their totem after a short time. If their totem is destroyed, then they are instantly killed and can't respawn. The team that destroys all of the opposing totems wins. If you're playing a hardcore character though, don't worry. Hinokora, the goddess of death, is watching over you and will restore your soul to your body, so you can't permanently die in the afterlife. Like that. In the Trial of the Ancestors, strategy and tactics are key. Every unit has its own strengths and weaknesses that must be utilized to win matches. The turtle is really slow and really tanky. It's perfect for either defensive positioning to stop flankers or offensive positioning to tank hits for you if you're pushing through the middle. It's not great in the center or flank positions due to its slow movement speed. The Tuatara is a quick and deceptive unit, which is relatively well balanced for all positions. This version of the Tuatara has a stealth ability, which makes it perfect for the flanking position to sneak through enemy defenses and take out unprotected totems from the side. The Goliath of Night is a disruptor unit, and it's ideally placed in a center position to intercept enemies that are chasing you. You can also allocate it to defenses so that it disrupts enemies that are trying to kill your totems by stunning them. So in this match here, we've set up a Tuatara in a flanking position, a turtle on defense to guard our totems, and a Goliath to follow us as we attack up the middle. Our plan is to work with the Goliath to distract the enemy front line so the flanking Tuatara can get through and destroy some of their totems. Teamwork. Upon winning a match, you earn favor and other rewards. I'll talk about the other rewards shortly. There are a lot. You have a separate amount of favor with each tribe, and you can spend it by talking to their chieftain to recruit warriors and purchase field items and equipment that your team can use. Each tribe has specific specialities. For example, Hinakora's tribe manipulates life and death. Rongo Kurai's tribe is slow and tanky, with an emphasis on stuns and knockbacks. You can recruit warriors from many different tribes and mix and match them together into your team based on what you need. Field items are items that are placed on the battlefield and can be activated during the match to, for example, revive a warrior or heal your entire team. If a field item isn't consumed within a match, it persists on to the next match. But your warriors, their equipment, and your field items are all wiped between tournaments. You enter each tournament fresh. Your success in a tournament updates your overall ranking, which helps you earn better rewards in subsequent ones. Speaking of rewards,
Ciekawe właśnie jakie będą nagrody za to, nie? Boję się, że to się bardziej
You
będzie
can
opłacał od
tell
mapek.
this gets me excited. Okay. You get a reward as you win each round of the tournament, and these rewards are visible when you're selecting which tribe you want to play against. They'll help inform your decision, as some of them are regular rewards and some of them are exclusive new rewards you can only get from the Trial of the Ancestors. I'm literally tripping over my words to get to the part where I can explain tattoos.
Pierwszy sezon w D4 wygląda.
Okay.
Jak
The
dłużej jest
Ancestors
D4,
reward you with special tattoos that are not applied to your skin, but they're engraved on your soul. This process can transform what your attribute skills on the passive tree do, basically the attribute highway nodes generally.
O kurwa,
The
to
regular
jest
ones can only be
powiązane
applied to
z...
basic attribute
They
skills
place a small
and allow you to
dexterity
convert your
passive
tree's
skill
attribute
grants to
highways
increase
into something
movement
more
speed.
useful for you.
Chłopy,
For
travel
example,
notki
this one
edytują, o
converts a small
kurwa.
dexterity skill into movement speed. Each tribe has its own exclusive passive tattoos. This tattoo converts a small strength skill
kurwa.
into additional fire resistance. This one converts a small intelligence skill into additional lightning damage.
O
And
chuj.
this one converts a small strength skill into one that summons a minion when you take a savage hit from a unique enemy. But don't go overboard on the number of skills you convert with tattoos, as you'll probably need at least some of your attributes left to equip items. Each of the 10 tribes has an exclusive unique item that you can earn. These rarely show up as rewards for defeating that tribe in a match. Katava's Hunger is a unique majestic plate that you can earn by defeating the Katava tribe. As you can see, it grants an
900
immense
życia, jak
amount
nie
of
masz
life
innych
for a
life
single item,
modifierów, o
providing you
kurwa.
don't have any life on any other pieces of your equipment. While this is tricky to accomplish, it also frees up all those other potential life slots to be something else that benefits your build.
Fajna
making it pure
zbrojka
upside.
nawet, nie?
This amulet is a unique item you can earn by defeating the Arohongui tribe. It has the
Pa,
powerful effect of
autopicie
causing your
flasek.
flasks to instantly recover life and mana
O
whenever you're
kurwa.
low. This could potentially be a powerful panic button, or maybe you want to build around permanently being on low life or mana, so all of your flask usage is instant.
O
If you manage to win
kurwa.
the entire tournament, you'll not only receive the reward for the final match, but Hinokora will
Ty bez
also give you a
kitu.
choice of 3 additional... Next. Sorry, button didn't work. Of 3 additional exclusive items. Let's have a look at some of the things you may be offered. First up, there are 4 unique items that exclusively come from Hinokora for completing the tournament. This belt, for example, lists a plethora of really powerful properties, both beneficial and detrimental.
Ty, no ale z
While you're
tamtym
wearing the
amuletem, jak
belt,
se
the
klikniesz,
property
że jesteś
shifts around
zawsze
every
low
5
life,
seconds. You never know
to
what's
masz
going to happen
100%
next. Will
uptime
you always
potek.
crit, always
Automatycznie
evade,
się non
never
stop potkę
evade?
klika, potka
Maybe
po
you're able to
potce.
find some ways to build around the detrimental effects to create as much upside as possible. Hinokora also has a selection of special, more advanced passive tree tattoos that you can only receive from her. This one transforms a
One
30
level to all
intelligence
intelligence
notable attribute
skill
skill
gems? Co?
into one that increases the level of all of your intelligence
O
gems.
kurwa.
You're only allowed 1 copy of the
Ty, nie, to
specific
jest
attribute
giga
combination
silne,
tattoo
kurwa.
on a tree.
To jest w kurwę silne.
Hinokora can also award you with a new type of item called an omen. These are small items that sit in your inventory until a condition is met, at which point they are consumed and something happens. In this case, when you reach 25% life, your flasks are all replenished. Now don't worry, each player can only consume 1 omen per combat area, so you don't have any reason to fill your entire inventory with them. This one creates a portal on death. We made it for me. It won't try to save your life, but it will save you some time. This one grants you Soul Eater when you level up. It's definitely worth carrying around for that occasional massive power boost. Omens are tradable but hard to get, so use them carefully. I shudder to think about how much this one is going to be worth in the presence of those incredibly rare unique weapons from 320. Now note, going off script again here, back in the day, when we had stuff like the Prophecy and so on that let you upgrade to rare forcibly on a specific base type, we had to block the good items by putting crap uniques on the, sorry, I meant upgrade to unique. We put crap uniques on that base type so that you couldn't get it every time. Well, we stopped doing that, so a lot of the uniques that were upgraded in 320 are just the only thing on the base type. So items like this let you deterministically get something quite valuable, hence they are quite rare.
Kurwa, giga fajne
The most
właśnie,
exciting
no.
one though. Finally, Hinakura can offer you a lock of her hair. This is a very special currency item that lets you foresee the result of using another currency item to craft something. This means, for example, you can know whether it's worth exalting your item because you'll know exactly what the outcome is.
O kurwa, ale
Hinakura's lock
fajne.
will slot into your crafting pipeline with powerful consequences.
Bez kitu.
The Trial of the Ancestors offers a wide
Do
selection of valuable
rerollowania
new rewards
itemów
as
czy
you complete
coś,
matches and
ale giga
tournaments. We really
dobre.
look forward to
Masz
seeing what
dobre item,
strategies you
musisz
develop
kurwa
and building,
tak, mieć trochę
equipping,
lepszy.
carefully
I
placing and
używasz,
playing
jest
alongside
szansa,
your
żebym miał
tribe.
trochę lepszy.
So that's the new Challenge League, but Path of Exile expansions contain more than just a new league every 3 months. In each update, we also augment Path of
Ty,
Exile's
ta
endgame
liga
and shift
strasznie
the
duży
metagame
power
with
creep,
new
mam
gems and
wrażenie, do
balance
siły
changes.
postaci,
This
nie?
expansion
Te
is no
tatusy
exception.
na
I'm going to
travel
explain
notki
the other
w chuj
changes in a
silne
medium
imo.
amount
Jak
of
tam jest
detail.
kurwa
I'm
jeden do
conscious that we have
skill
both
gemów
new and
wszystkich, nie? To
existing
jest
players.
kurwa OP.
For new players, I'm going to try to include some extra content to help make the changes more
Wiadomo, że tam jest to na
understandable.
tych
You can
plus
find out all the
30, ale
detail
no
in the
nadal
patch
te plus
notes and other
30
information
to
we'll be
one są
posting in a
łatwo
few weeks before
dostępne, nie? Bo i
release.
tak one są
Let's
jakieś
start
blisko
with how the
klasterów,
Trial
do
of the
których
Ancestors
idziesz, nie?
expansion
No możesz
expands
mieć
Path of
jeden
Exile's
taki.
endgame.
A wiesz, no to jest stary plus
In
jeden do
December
wszystkich
last year,
skilli,
we
których
released an
wcześniej nie
expansion
mogłeś
called The
mieć, nie?
Forbidden Sanctum, which introduced the Sanctum Challenge League. This league was a roguelike game set within Path of Exile where you would randomly explore a randomly generated sanctum one room at a time, alongside your regular play. You'd pick which rooms you wanted to explore out of several options and accumulate beneficial boons and detrimental afflictions that made your run easier and harder, respectively. Not only did Sanctum work really well as a league, but it also had the potential to be added to Path of Exile as part of its core endgame content, alongside
O,
systems like
wiecie, że
mapping,
to
delve,
Sanctum
and heist.
zajebista, to super
Well, in
brzmi.
this expansion, the Forbidden Sanctum is back.
Zajebiście. Ja muszę przetestować to Sanctum, ono świetnie brzmi. Ale mi się wydaje, że mam taki syndrom kolejnego rana, nie? Cały czas.
Core content in Path of Exile's endgame. You'll initially meet Divinia, the Sanctum NPC, in Act 10. Sanctums are now tradable items that you can find while playing maps in the endgame. A forbidden tome represents a whole floor of the Sanctum, and its rooms can be played back to back, or you can take breaks between them and do something else if you choose. Upon successfully completing that Sanctum floor, the next floor is generated as a tradable item with all of the state of your Sanctum run built in. This means that the item stores what boons and afflictions you had, what rewards you've locked in, and how much resolve you have left. You can then either play this floor or trade it to someone else if it feels more beneficial. For example, let's say you manage to lock in a really valuable reward. The example here is a mirror of Calandra, but you'll
I mi się
also
wydaje,
notice...
że po jak oni coś robią, jak ktoś mówi, ty, a jakby to kurwa zrobić tak, no chuja zróbmy. No dawaj, dodajemy.
This is an example here where the player has a very good reward locked in, but a massive pile of dangerous afflictions and only one resolve on them. If you don't feel capable of completing the rest of the Sanctum from this point, then it would normally be a write-off, right? If you gave this to me, no way am I getting that mirror. But you can now trade the Sanctum state to someone else who is willing to pay for the chance to earn the mirror, or lose it. And you can look at expected value in economics, right? It's worth some percentage of that mirror. So you trade it for like 5 chaos to someone, they run it and lose their chaos. Your relics, which act as passive bonuses within the Sanctum, are locked in for the run when you start the first floor and can't be changed for the rest of the run. Speaking of relics, they're now tradable and have been rebalanced around this. To those of you wondering, we have decided against bringing back sanctified relics for now. A complete Sanctum run now requires killing the final boss, Lycia, in both her first and second form. She will always drop a unique relic, and these have been reworked and replaced as we rebalanced everything. An important aspect of the new Sanctum balance is that your primary defenses now have some effect on protecting your resolve. Your armor allows you to mitigate resolve loss, and your evasion grants you a chance to avoid resolve loss entirely, a lot like how armor and evasion work. Your energy shield grants you resolve Aegis, which is a mechanic that works similarly to how energy shield behaves for life. In light of the new defensive opportunities and learnings from the original Challenge League, we've rebalanced the difficulty of Sanctum, especially in later floors, and have worked to add more monster and room variety to runs. We've added new boons and afflictions themed around the new defensive mechanics and have rebalanced many of the other ones. Like other optional endgame systems that involve tradable items, players who don't want to play Sanctum can trade their Sanctums to other players in exchange for an item or currency that benefits them more. Successful Sanctum play can generate a lot of rewards. It'll potentially be possible to build characters dedicated to Sanctum running and just farm Sanctums repeatedly in order to profit.
Ja chcę postać do
Sanctum
biegania
isn't the
Sanctum.
only improvement that Trial of the
Co dobrze,
Ancestors
że ci
brings to
Sanctum,
Path of Exile's
kurwa.
endgame. We're also introducing 16 new Atlas Keystone passives to the Atlas passive tree. As a quick summary for new players joining us, the Atlas tree is a system that allows you to customize your endgame experience in Path of Exile. As you complete different maps, you gain skill points that can be allocated in the tree. You could use these points to modify the behavior of different content you encounter in in-game maps to make it more difficult or more rewarding, or to behave entirely differently. The system allows you to double down on the content you enjoy and
Starczy
avoid content
zapis
you
tego
don't.
live'a wrzucić na PortCube'a,
Keystones
przecież
are
to
really
jest
impactful
najebanie
passives that
pisane.
totally change how endgame systems behave. Usually they have an element of give and take and require you to come up with new strategies to take advantage of them. Each of these 16 new Atlas Keystones changes how you might interact with Path of Exile's endgame. Let's have a look at some of them now. We will reveal the rest of them before the release of Trial of the Ancestors in a few weeks. Extreme Archaeology completely changes how you play
kurwa,
expedition
czat, czemu wy nie
encounters.
mówicie, że
Instead
się
of placing
przesunąć, żebyście
a
mogli
series of
Chrisa
regular
Wilsona oglądać?
explosives, you now place one gigantic explosive. Every single chest or monster in the blast radius is affected by every remnant in that radius. Speaker of the Dead makes it so that tormented spirits can possess you rather than possessing monsters, boosting your stats instead. While possessed, you can touch monsters just like a spirit can, making them stronger and more rewarding. It's kind of getting silly at this point, isn't it? Blight is like a tower defense minigame inside Path of Exile. The Cassia's Pride Keystone makes it so that Blight monsters take significantly less damage from players and significantly more damage from Blight towers. This basically lets you go all in playing like an actual tower defense
Fajne.
game.
So,
Because we can.
legendary notki do klasy teraz do konkretnych
Lucid
mechanik.
Dreams makes it so that Val side areas in your maps are no longer corrupted, meaning that you can use currency items to change their mods. That's right, when you encounter a Val side area, the Keystone lets you craft it. Yeah, so we rebalanced the side area mods, we've improved reward outcomes, and we've made the downside mods a bit more punishing, just to make it interesting if you try to go for the good outcomes. You may also rarely encounter a unique Val side area. Destructive play makes it so that the Maven will summon between 1 and 3 extra random map bosses when you are fighting witnessed map bosses. This keystone is analogous to the Eldritch Altar keystones that make those influences more difficult but more rewarding. There are another 11 new keystones that we'll reveal over the next few weeks. Together, these 16 keystones mean that regardless of how you enjoy your maps, you'll have plenty of new ways to play Path of Exile's endgame in this expansion. And I should note, in the initial draft of the keynote, I painstakingly went through every single keystone. It took like 10 minutes. But we'll put them in the news to save you some time here. In the Trial of the Ancestors expansion, we're shifting Path of Exile's metagame in several ways. The first is by introducing 14 new support gems, which are designed to take existing categories of skills and provide entirely new ways to play them. For full information, check the final gem offers when we post them in the next few weeks. Let's have a look at a handful of these support gems now. In Path of Exile, war cries usually buff your party but don't directly hurt monsters. The Corrupting Cry support gem turns war cries into damage-dealing skills by making them inflict corrupted blood on monsters affected by the war cry or by your attacks that it exerts. The Returning Projectiles support gem causes projectiles from supported skills to return to you, piercing all targets but dealing a little less damage. I think there's another example too.
Fajny multi-shotcik.
The Fresh Meat support gem causes minions created by supported gems to gain adrenaline, critical strike chance, and critical strike damage for a duration after they're first summoned. So you've got to work out a way to keep refreshing your minions.
O kurwa,
That makes them a
no.
lot more powerful.
Jezu, do SRS-ów!
The Flamewood support gem causes totems to trigger projectile mortars at enemies that hit them. This is particularly synergistic with totems that can taunt
Czy to
enemies,
jest
such as Decoy
giga
Totem,
bardzo
or
SRS-ów
one of the new
tamto
Chieftain
gówno.
Ascendancy skills that I might talk about shortly. The Sacrifice support gem works on spells that you either cast yourself or through totems. These spells now sacrifice a percentage of your current life or the totem's life to gain additional chaos damage based on how much life was sacrificed. The Frigid Bond support gem affects Link skills and causes a cold mist to come over them. Enemies caught in the beam are chilled and are dealt cold damage over time. This creates a new tool for a cold damage over time build, requiring strategic placement of both yourself and your Link's ally. I mentioned it was going to get silly. The Locust Mine support gem looks OP and affects attack skills that use bows and wands. Instead of directly using the supported skill, you throw mines in an arc that use that skill for you, targeting your location when you detonate them. In addition to these gems, there are another 7 that we'll be revealing over the next few weeks. In addition to the 14 new support gems, our balance work for the Trial of the Ancestors involved us revamping 2 Ascendancy classes. These are the subclasses that you can specialize in as you play through Path of Exile's campaign. Each main character class has 3 Ascendancy classes available. In the last expansion, Crucible, we overhauled the Pathfinder and Saboteur. This time, it's the Guardian and Chieftain, which are specializations of the Templar and Marauders, respectively. While we were very happy with the theme of the Guardian, it was falling behind the power level and popularity of other Ascendancy classes. Our changes in this expansion have modernized the class and will present you with more relevant build opportunities than before. Brace yourself. Okay. Path of Exile 102. Harmony of Purpose can power up parties using Link skills. Time of Need now completely cleanses and heals you every 4 seconds. Radiant and Unwavering Crusade both fully embrace the Holy Summoner theme by giving you access to some exciting new types of minions that are exclusive to this Ascendancy class. We have this picture on the announcement page, pathofexile.com/ancestor, for you to scrutinize. Next. While the Guardian's revamp was similar to that of the Pathfinder, the Chieftain has received the Saboteur treatment. To be honest, we were unhappy about many aspects of this Ascendancy class in its old form, and so we have completely redesigned it. You can play it now. It's basically an entirely new Ascendancy class with the same name and art and a new way of approaching its themes. Its new skills let you, among other things, cause enemies to explode, turn off enemies' fire resistance while you're stationary, convert passive skills to apply to fire damage, and have your fire resistances apply to your cold and lightning resistances. I'll just give you a sec more to read. All right, that's on the site too for you to check out. It's pretty powerful now. To celebrate the release of the Trial of the Ancestors, we'll be hosting a boss kill event. To enter, create a hardcore solo self-found character in the Ancestor League and race to kill all 7 Uber Pinnacle bosses on the same character. Note that unlike the last event we ran, this one is not a ruthless event. We'll post more information about the event and its prizes in the news before release. Best of luck to everyone. For the Ancestor Challenge League, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Shade and Disciple packs. Each tier contains the pack's full face value and points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. These packs are only available for the duration of the Ancestor League, and will leave the store forever when it ends. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic, and do not affect the character's power or progression in any way, despite how cool they look. The Shade series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. All right, the Sarcophagus back attachment imprisons an unspeakable evil that struggles to break free. Nearby monsters send it into a frenzy, and enemy deaths provide it with souls to feast upon. The Stygian Waypoint shackles visitors to your hideout in chains, yourself included. These chains are just cosmetic, though, and they break as soon as you move. It would supposedly be a gameplay advantage to be able to imprison people. The Ferryman's armor set is so full of trapped souls that some of them try to escape. Moving while wearing the boots will leave souls in your wake trying to break free.
Oh.
The Infernal Portal opens a gate to the Netherrealm when you approach. This prompted a lot of internal discussion about whether using Hellfire to heat your hideout is actually safe and practical. The Demon-bound crafting bench allows you to enslave a malevolent entity to craft items for you. Be warned, it has a sharp tongue and will mock you mercilessly.
you chained me for such a paltry use?
The nebula character effect causes items you pick up to orbit you in an ethereal cloud of loot.
O kurwa, jakie ładne. Patrz, podnosisz itemy i biegają wokół ciebie.
The Disciple series of supporter packs also
Się
contain
wydaje,
6
że nie grają
exclusive
skiny, to
microtransactions.
kurwa na
Look at
jaja
dog.
to robią.
I'm going to put that in the top pack. The Hero's Landing Finisher effect summons a marble statue from the heavens to execute unique monsters you defeat. You decide whether it's the sword or the huge lump of rock that actually kills them. The Bell Tower map device heralds the opening of a new map with a peal of bells. Start to run out of portals though, and it will reflect your desperate situation.
Fajne.
This is fine. The Cathedral armor set refracts light through your character, creating beautiful patterns on the ground around it. If your
kurwa,
life
jakie
gets low,
witraże.
it responds in kind.
O,
The Observer Diamond Flask summons a tentacled mass that fires its eye lasers at enemies you critically strike while the flask is active. Again, cosmetic. The Currency Orb Charge effect lets you pick from a number of different currency types to replace your charges with, as long as you've used that currency item anytime from today onwards. Some people... We have to store it in the
stary,
database,
ktoś jak
right?
będzie-
Some people will show they can be part of the exclusive club of players who have actually used a Mirror of Calandra. This effect
Czaicie
also
to?
causes your
Mirrorki,
charges to
nie?
display
Takie masz
in
wokół
town.
ciebie.
So the theory is you go use your standard mirror, which we all have, right? The Faithful Hound Pet is a very good doggo, and it knows a few tricks. You can command it to sit, roll over, or play dead. And yes, you can pet the dog. These new packs are available right now at pathofexile.com/purchase, and purchases like these directly fund the ongoing development of Path of Exile 1 and 2. Meanwhile, the Lithomancer and Enchanter packs leave the store forever at the launch of Trial of the Ancestors, so now's your last chance to purchase them.
Ile
There's
kosztuje
some
ten
good stuff in them
supporter
too.
pack? Kurwa,
Thanks
jak
for your
chyba
continued
kupuję
support.
widzowie.
Thanks so much for joining us this weekend at Exilecon 2023. Have a great show, everyone.
Ja pierdolę. Oni ciągle o tym poje, kurwa.